What is going on, guys? Miles here, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the update 1.09 patch notes for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. As you guys probably know, yesterday there was a huge update to the game, so in this video I'm not going to cover every single change because that would make the video drag on forever, and in particular I'll be covering the weapon changes made in multiplayer and Blackout, as well as changes made to specialist characters in multiplayer, and finally some map design changes in Blackout as well. So let's get straight into the video. Starting off with some weapon changes. As you guys might know, the event Operation Absolute Zero began yesterday in multiplayer, and with it came the first ever batch of DLC weapons. We have a total of 3 new weapons. We have the Secret Santa, the SWAT RFT Assault Rifle, as well as the 3XB Submachine Gun. And to unlock these weapons in multiplayer, to unlock the Secret Santa you need to reach tier 25 on the Battle Pass. To unlock the 3XB Submachine Gun you need to hit level 50 on the Battle Pass. And finally, for the SWAT Assault Rifle you need to hit level 100 on the Battle Pass. And at first this might seem kind of annoying because it's quite a high level to get just for these DLC weapons, but when you consider the event is really long and we have all of these daily tier skips, actually getting these weapons should be fairly easy. But as of right now, I haven't actually used these weapons in multiplayer because obviously my Battle Pass level is really low right now. But I have actually used the SWAT as well as the 3XB in Blackout because those weapons can spawn randomly in that mode. And from the very short time I used those weapons, I only got like 1 kill with the 3XB, but I feel like that gun melts people at close range, but it might struggle at a medium to long range. And as for the SWAT, this seemed like a fairly kind of reasonable assault rifle. There wasn't anything like super unique about it, but I did manage to get a win with this weapon when I was using it for the first time, so I guess it's got to be pretty good. But moving on to changes which were made to other weapons in the game, melee weapons have seen a buff as they have increased the melee detection range for all melee weapons, which would only be the combat knife and the Secret Santa, but they have also buffed the bayonet and the stiletto knife operator mods as well. The Titan light machine gun has seen a nerf as it now has reduced ADS flinch mitigation, which I'm quite happy to see because I felt like the Titan was pretty overpowered, and this nerf is going to take place in all the game modes, which would be multiplayer, Blackout as well as Zombies, so hopefully this weapon isn't going to be as OP now as it once was. But there were a couple of weapon changes which were only made for guns in the Blackout mode. The SDM has been nerfed as it now has reduced damage and increased ADS time in and out, and also increased recoil as well. And I'm really happy to see this change because I felt like the SDM was really broken in Blackout, and if you had that gun you just had a massive advantage since you could like 2-shot people if they didn't have armor. So pretty happy to see the SDM nerfed. But also the Spitfire submachine gun was nerfed as well in Blackout as it now has reduced damage and increased recoil. Once again, I think this was a pretty good change because I felt like the Spitfire was kind of overpowered, especially when you compare it to other SMGs in Blackout. So hopefully the nerfs weren't huge, but I'm happy they did nerf it a little bit. So that covers all of the weapon changes which were made in patch 1.09 for Blackout as well as multiplayer. As for some actual map changes which were made to Blackout, they did make quite a few changes in this update. They added kind of like a winter theme to Blackout, which is pretty cool. They obviously added the hijack location, which I've covered in another video, but they've actually made a few changes to some already existing locations in the game. So they added some elevators into Hydro Dam to make it easier to kind of elevate around the map and access different areas, which I think is a good change. As for the factories location, they opened up 3 previously sealed buildings, which is going to allow for more loot in that area. They also added 2 new pipes to allow players to navigate in between structures in factories. They opened up 2 train cars which were previously inaccessible, and finally they also opened up 13 containers in factories. So this location is going to be much better than it used to be before this update. On Nuketown Island, they opened up 3 garages which were previously closed before this update. And one last big change which was made to Blackout is a redesign to armor, as now you can actually repair your armor by using armor plates, which you can find either by killing people who have armor equipped or by finding them around the map where loot will generally spawn. And from the few games I played since this update, I think this change to armor is actually really good because it promotes a more aggressive playstyle rather than kind of just camping to preserve your level 3 armor, because now you can easily maintain a full set of armor even if you go around killing people. But finally, heading back into multiplayer for some changes made to specialist characters. A big one is a new specialist character which was added with the new event called Zero, and this specialist character has an equipment which is basically an EMP grenade which can destroy equipment such as like tac deploy beacons and mesh mines and stuff like that, and if you throw it at a player it will like remove their heads up display, I believe, for a little bit of time as well. So the equipment seems a bit useful. It's kind of like an RPG in your grenade slot. It's not super broken or anything like that. And her ultimate ability is called the Ice Pick, and this thing seems pretty crazy because you basically hack all the enemy players in the lobby, and you can also hack their equipment and even their score streaks. So this means you actually gain control over those equipment and score streaks rather than just plain destroying them, which I think is pretty broken. If the enemy is using a control kill streak like a gunship, it will just destroy it rather than allowing you to take control over it. But if it's an AI controlled streak like an attack chopper, you will get that chopper rather than destroying it. So I'm not a huge fan of this ultimate ability myself because I feel like it's just way too noob friendly and it punishes good players, and you don't have to do anything to earn this ultimate ability. So I think it really sucks how a player who has 0 kills can get this ultimate ability and then steal an attack chopper basically without doing anything at all. So I think as of right now this specialist ultimate ability is really broken, and I do hope it gets nerfed in the future. But besides my quick rant about the Zero specialist, there were a few other changes. For example, for the Prophet Tempest, the ammo count has been reduced from 14 to 10, and also additional tuning to accuracy will be coming soon. And I'm happy to see this change because I don't feel like a lot of people used Prophet in multiplayer, but the few people who did realized that his ultimate ability was pretty damn broken, so I'm glad to see it get nerfed at least a little bit. For the Firebreak character, the Purifier has been buffed as the Purifier now connects more reliably with enemies. And finally, for Seraph, they have increased the rate at which you can earn the Annihilator, which I feel like is a fair enough buff because the Annihilator just didn't seem as good as things like the Tempest before this update. But there we have it, they were the changes which were made to weapons in multiplayer and Blackout, as well as changes made to specialist characters and the map design in Blackout from the patch 1.09 in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Let me know what you think of these changes down in the comments below. Have you guys tried out the new DLC weapons? But if you found this video useful, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more. But I'll see you guys in another video.